Okay, we are back in the Bellbrook community. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know we featured KB homes here, but today we are only focusing on dream finders. Now, these homes are really amazing if you're looking to upsize the family, or if you need more space and you want to be close to the Oakleaf Town Center, or if you need easy access to the highways, so like getting to the airport, that sort of thing. You're definitely not going to want to miss this video. And the two models I have for you today, they're sitting on 50 and 60 wide lots. Let's just hop straight into the video. Okay, we have the Auburn II. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. But very beautiful homes here in this community. This is a shared community between Dreamfinders and KB Homes. But here with this first model, this is being used as an office space. You get the 3-car garage. What's really cool about Dreamfinders in this community is they are spec homes, meaning everything that we see today is going to be what standard comes with the home. So while there's limited customizable options, it does kind of take the stress off of trying to figure out every little thing to get into your home. So very exciting. We're going to go ahead and start on the left side, and then we'll make our way back around to see the rest of this house. So immediately having these bedrooms here nice and separated from the main living area is pretty great, just if you value privacy and that sort of thing. Here in this first bedroom, I gotta say, the video does not do it justice. This room is absolutely just large. You have these windows letting in a whole lot of natural light. I really don't feel like I'm standing in a secondary bedroom because, again, it's just really big. You gotta actually see it in person to really get a good feel for it. Closet space for this size home is very decent. And then you'll notice too on the flooring, there's carpet here in the room. And then as I step out, you have that wood look LPV. And then even going into the bathroom, you have the tile. So just keep that in mind. Again, that is standard. This is how the house comes. You don't have the soft close here. You can always add that personally later on. You have the shower and the tub combination, so that's really convenient. Now there is that linen closet there behind the door. I'm just realizing that I did not open that. Email me and I will get you over what the floor plan fully looks like so you can get an idea of the size. But here we're in bedroom number 2. Again, just great sized bedrooms. The one we were in before was a 14 by 13, and then this one is 13 by 12. So not bad space at all. If you have young children who are growing, they're definitely going to be able to grow with these rooms very easily. And then the closet space, pretty similar to what we saw in that first bedroom. Not too large, not too small. A lot of buyers so far are really enjoying this floor plan, mainly because it just solves that longevity problem. Regardless of the size of your family, you definitely have the space here. Now we've made it to your dining area. This space it actually looks larger in person. It's 15 by 12 as far as the space. And you can tell it's your dining area because of that light there. Just really illuminates over the seating area. This is just really convenient for people who like to host and you like to keep that kind of open floor plan feel. From the dining room, you have complete access to the living room and you're still connected and conjoined. Now here is your great room, and I gotta tell you, this thing is massive. Again, if you like to host, if you have a lot of family members over, or you're just a rather large family, you're gonna really appreciate this space. It's very large because it's meant to be accommodating for a larger family or a family that's growing into it. You'll definitely appreciate it as time goes on. Now directly from the great room, we're making our way over to your kind of cafe corner here right next to the kitchen. Very convenient. I can see myself waking up with a nice cup of coffee, maybe reading my word a little bit, and you have a great eye line of the kitchen and the living room from here as well. So it's just very cozy and comfortable. Now we're in the kitchen. There's decent spacing between your island and the stove. So if you like to cook, you do have a good amount of space for that. There is no soft close here or on the cabinets as well. Again, you can always add that in later. Great amount of space. Now I am 5'6" and I can reach up here pretty easily. You can see that ventilation system above there as well. Now I know at the beginning of the video I said these homes are standard, so everything you see it comes with. There are some options where you can change some of the colors in here. So if you're not loving the brown, don't worry. You do have a potential way to get that changed up. I wanted to highlight this island because it is definitely supersized. Most places you have to pay to upgrade that, but this is already extended, which is pretty fantastic. Okay, and you have your walk-in pantry here. I was actually surprised by the space. It feels very good in here. Really practical for everyday use, and I like that it's in the corner. Then you just have like this little coffee area here, and then some extra storage under the stairwell. This actually goes pretty deep. If you are moving in from up north, you're gonna really value a space like this. One, you have the 3-car garage, which you can put more space there as well, but having this storage is very, very helpful. I know you guys have basements over there, and we don't, so. Okay, here's kind of your drop zone when you come in from the garage. So you can kind of set this up how you want. That is the 3-car garage. We're not able to get in there today, but you will be able to see the garage in the other model we're viewing. Here's your walk-in laundry room. Really great DIY project here. Get some shelves in here. It'll look really nice and you have a lot of space. Okay, directly across from here, we're going to find bedroom number 3. Again, this home is meant to accommodate. That's what's really, really amazing about it. Now here's your other bathroom, again with that shower and tub combo, which is really nice and convenient. And speaking of convenience, what's cool is the location of this bathroom. It's right next to the living area, but guests could also potentially use the one down the other hall as well. Now here's that 3rd bedroom. Some people typically tend to use this one as an office. That's kind of why they have it staged as an office. This would be the smallest bedroom in the entire home, sitting right at 11 by 11 as far as the size of the room, which you can pretty much feel that size difference looking at it in comparison to the other bedrooms we saw. Closet size is probably about the only similar thing compared to the other bedrooms. It's honestly closest to the biggest bedroom that we've seen so far. Okay, from here we're gonna head over to the primary bedroom, and for most people this is probably the biggest deciding factor if they want this home. And if so far this home is checking some of your boxes, reach out to me just whenever you're ready, no pressure, and I'll be here for you. All right, we are in the massive primary bedroom sitting at 16 by 17. You have these 2 windows here letting in so much beautiful natural light. This room just feels very grand in stature just because of the size. There's a lot of space in here, quite a bit of options to just really optimize this room to fit your needs the best. And what I really appreciate about it is that it is very separate from the other bedrooms in the home. And then here is our primary bathroom, which again, very, very large. You see that really nice tile work that they've done. You have the toilet there separated by the door. Very high ceiling in there. And then we have your walk-in shower. Now this would be perfect with a nice screen here. To my knowledge, they don't do that here, but I do have a guy for you if this is a potential option. And then directly behind me, you have the dual vanities, the connected sinks, separate mirror, but you do have that window in between, letting in some natural light into this room. No soft close on these, just like we saw throughout the rest of the home. Really, honestly, spoiler, there's not going to be soft close anywhere else. And then you have this really grand walk-in closet, very large. Similarly to the laundry room, this is yet another DIY project just in the making. This closet has a lot of space. You can get a very, very solid storage system in this room if you know, this is like an IKEA type project. Okay, now we're gonna make our way over to the top floor, which I think you're really, really gonna appreciate that, especially if you have kids. There's just so many options with that room. Oh, and I mentioned the different flooring. This is a perfect example of having all 3 of those different floorings in the different rooms. And then of course, you know, that LPV wood-like, it goes all the way throughout. So really nice there. Again, if this home is checking some boxes, or if you want to learn more about this community, because it is moving pretty quickly, go ahead and email me or shoot me a text, whatever you're most comfortable with, and I will share some more information with you on this community. There's so much to do out here, especially being near the Oakleaf Town Center, so just let me know. Okay, we've made it to the loft, and look at the size of this thing. It honestly doubles as bedroom number 5 if you want it to, or this really could just be a perfect play area, an area possibly if you have teenagers, if they need a hangout spot. This just works very, very perfectly. And I know some families, they've converted this into like a little movie theater room, so that's an option as well. Here you just have the HVAC closet, and then right next to it you have your walk-in closet here. Really nice size. Again, this can very easily be a bedroom, but this can also be converted to anything that you need it to be for your family. Could also make a really great guest room as well, because you do have your own bathroom, and like the other bathrooms, you also have your own shower and tub. Very, very great additions. In some communities, you have to upgrade to have the tub and shower combination. So just another advantage that Dreamfinders has in this particular community. And before we make our way over to the Mayport model, I want to go ahead and just really quickly hop to that backyard so you can kind of get an idea of the lanais that come with these homes. Again, normally this would be an upgrade, but you will have that standard here, and I think you're going to really appreciate it, especially if you like to have that sort of outdoor indoor living. This somewhat kind of gives you that access. Okay, I've made my way down. These are normally pretty easy to open, but I'm using one hand and it was a little difficult for me, but here we are. Now, I gotta say, today was a very cloudy, rainy day, but here we are. You have this really beautiful lanai, super oversized. It covers your entire space. You do have the connections there for a grill, maybe get a little hot tub out here, whatever works best for you. And then just to kind of give you an idea of what this spot looks like. Again, really nice if you appreciate a little bit of outdoor indoor living. You can always get this screened in as well to really capture that indoor portion of everything. Don't let any bugs in. But really nice home if you're considering new construction in Northeast Florida and you don't really want to put a whole lot of time, at least initially, into the upgrades. These spec homes are perfect for you. Let's go ahead and check out the Mayport. Okay, here we are at the Mayport. Really nice model. It is definitely smaller from the one we just looked at, but still really, really good, and also a very highly sought after option in this community, which you're gonna see why the moment we hop in. Between the two, I actually favor this one a little bit more. Even though it is technically smaller, it still actually feels spacious, and I really like the separation between all of the rooms. So right when you walk in, here on the left side, you have this walkway. We have the linen closet here on my left side, perfect for just dropping off a coat or something, or putting away shoes. A little bit of a small detail, but you do have a lot of space right here. Not quite sure how you personally would utilize that. I'd be interested to know in the comments. But here we have that first bedroom, pretty sizable. Some people, as you can see, they may use this as the study just because it's at the front of the house, and then you do have that window to let in a little bit of light. Right behind this door here, you have your closet. Definitely a great size closet for the space. I was actually pretty impressed by it when I saw it. And then right on the right side here, you do kind of have like this nook area. So just adds a little bit of extra space into this room. And then of course, just this window letting in some more light for your study. Okay, so moving on, I did want to point this out. If you do have this closet here, you can't really fully extend this door. So just keep that in mind. I don't know if that's a deal breaker for you, but let me know. Okay, here is that shared bathroom. Only one sink in here, but you do have the shower and tub combo. Decent size as well. And then just right out of this room, you do have your storage closet here. I'm sorry, your linen closet. Great amount of space. And then of course we have that other bedroom. about the same size as the study. You lose a little bit of square footage when you remove that nook area, but not a bad amount of space. And then of course you do have that closet here. Similar thing, the door kind of blocks the closet, so you can't really have both open at the same time. But the closet here is just about the same size as the other one, maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, so from here, I want to go ahead and head over to where your garage is. Now, we weren't able to see the 3-car garage in the other home, but this 2-car garage will give you kind of a good idea of the amount of space that you normally would use. So right through here, this is typically probably where you would enter the home. Here is your 2-car garage. And then right when you walk into the home, you're right across from your laundry room. Really good size laundry room, again, for the size of this home. I just like that it is a walk-in laundry room. You can kind of DIY some cabinets in here if you prefer. You definitely have the space for it. You can make it really, really nice. And then here is that 3rd bedroom. About as big as the room with the study. What's really convenient about this one, and most people will probably convert this particular room into the guest room because it does have its own ensuite bathroom, which is fantastic. And then the closet space is exactly the same size as the last room we were in. Yeah, so decent amount of space. I like that it's not being blocked by a door. And then of course you have your own bathroom with the shower and tub combo. Really appreciate that about this particular community by Dreamfinders. Normally having all of these extra tubs and shower combinations, you'd have to pay extra for that. So really, really good job on their part. Now this is pretty much where a lot of the big decisions are going to happen. Your living space and then the primary bedroom. So on the way to the living space, you just have this HVAC closet. And then we make our way into the open floor plan. Very beautiful. Starting here in the kitchen, you have that oversized island. It is extended and that comes standard, which is fantastic. This is a good example of what the white cabinetry will look like in comparison to the brown that we saw in the last home. You do have your walk-in pantry in the corner, which is something I personally love, and you get a really good amount of space in here as well. Definitely very accommodating. And then pretty standard amount of space in between here. You don't have the soft close, which, you know, we've already talked about that. You won't have that anywhere in these homes. Cabinet space is very good. No soft close, of course. And then you have your microwave with the ventilation system on the inside. I can reach that pretty well without having to stand on my toes. And then you just have good space here. Now, if you ever utilize this was actually pretty difficult for me to reach. So keep that in mind if that is space that you typically would utilize. But all in all, very nice in here. Then we walk over to your dining area. Dining area, you can tell, is separated only because of that window there letting in some light. This space is really nice. You have a 6-seater that it's showing, which I would say is probably about the maximum size, at least a 6 people table. You might be able to get away with an 8-person, but you don't want that table going into your walkway. And then from here, we have your living area. Now, I gotta say, the living area is really nice. What I really enjoy is the 2 windows that they have letting in more light. Of course, today is a cloudy day, so it's a little hard to tell from the video, but there is a great amount of light coming into this house. And then I just want to show you kind of from this angle here, you can really see just pretty much everything. So this floor plan is designed to host and keep everybody feeling pretty together, at least in this part of the home. Now we have our primary, and this is one of my favorite things with this particular primary. You have a his and hers closet. So here would probably be for the ladies, because with this particular closet on this side, the door leading into the room is not blocking the other closet. So really good amount of space in these closets for sure. And then this would probably be our closet here, because the wives typically get the best ones. Let me know what you guys think about the separate closets right at the entryway of the door. I know for some people that could be a deal breaker, but I like having the option of, all of this extra space. And then here we have the primary bedroom. That's a king size bed, so you get a lot of space in here. The 2 windows letting in so much natural light. If you're coming from up north, waking up to the sunshine is something that you're probably not used to. I think you'd really appreciate it in a floor plan like this. Decent amount of space in here. Again, these spec homes, you can always add in your own personal upgrades later. So like if you want a crown molding in here or anything like that. Now we've made our way to your primary bathroom. Here you have that oversized mirror. And then you do have the connected dual vanities. I always test for soft close. It's just kind of a habit, but I already know there's none in here. I just like to show it off. Now behind this door, they really like putting things behind these doors. You have the linen closet, which is actually really sizable. I had to do a double take because it's quite deep for a linen closet. You do have your soaking tub, which is a great feature to have in this particular home. And of course the shower here. You can always get that screened in if you like. Then just a window letting in more light. Here you have the toilet separated by a door. Really cool. I think it's a good feature to have that soaking tub in here. Some of these models, they only have the shower, so that's a good use of the space. And then we're just going to quickly take a look at the backyard. Again, if this home is checking a few boxes for you, go ahead and subscribe. It'll really encourage me to continue to make these videos. And if you like what you're seeing, you want to learn more, reach out to me just whenever you're ready. Okay, so we've made it to the backyard, and what you're seeing here again is standard. So you have this really nice covered lanai. It's not screened in, but that's something you can always add later. You can see these pavers are pretty large, and then you do have the connections there. Definitely a decent amount of space. I like that this feels a little bit more open compared to the last model where you were kind of in between the walls. Having that little extra space to go into the yard is really nice and just makes it feel a little bit bigger than it is. Now you're going to want to stay tuned until the end of the video, because here at the end I'm going to have some other homes in this community and some surrounding areas in case you want to learn more about what's available, so stay tuned.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you have not already and you found this video helpful, go ahead and subscribe. It would really encourage me to continue to make these videos for you. Now, I don't showcase these homes just to show you homes. I'm helping families relocate into Northeast Florida with confidence, and I'm giving you a good idea of what is available in your area and community. So if you're considering making a move into Northeast Florida, reach out to me just whenever you're ready. There truly is no pressure, but I am here to help you just like I've helped many families successfully here in Northeast Florida. Y'all, I chose these two videos because they really go hand in hand with what's around this community specifically. So definitely watch one of these. It'll really give you a good idea of the area and some of your options. Y'all, God bless. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.